Short video for today, but this is getting absolutely ridiculous. Okay, so Roblox has always been a very cringe game for a lot of people because for the most part, whenever we think of Roblox, we think of a lot of experiences, and that's what they're called in the game. And by that I mean that's what they call their games. Whenever you think of these experiences, you probably can't help but to think of some of those cringy experiences that you've seen on Instagram Reels or TikTok that make fun of the stuff that people play on Roblox. Stuff like Brookhaven, Royal High, Bed Wars, Blox Fruits, Piggy, Murder Mystery 2, and a bunch of other horror games that people just love to play. Oh, and also my personal favorite, Roblox Simulator. It can't get much better than that. But anyways, I say this to basically emphasize a bigger point. There's a lot of variety when it comes to Roblox. There's so many things that you could do on Roblox for those of you that might be a little bit less keyed in on this. And when people are making experiences, they can quite literally add anything as long as it falls below certain guidelines. And Roblox has a significant amount of rules that determines what's allowed on their platform and what isn't. But there's some things that still slip by the radar. Either you can play incredibly realistic combat simulators, or you can play mind-numbing children's games like Whatever the Fuck Tycoon, which keeps kids' attentions by being idle money-making simulators, both for the kid and the developer. In these types of games, it's really easy to exploit a kid's attention span by offering cool upgrades as long as they keep building their tycoon by generating in-game currency through whatever means the particular game has. Furthermore, it also exploits a kid's wallet, as there are those obscene predatory premium upgrades in a lot of these games that cost real world money. $20 to $100 for an object that gives you an in-game infinite money glitch or some bullshit similar to that. Who really cares? All it is really a win condition that costs real money. And even though I said it comes from the kid's wallet, that's typically because they have to beg their parents to buy them fucking Robux every once a month just so they can buy some stupid upgrade that won't have any real long-term longevity. These games are actually revenue farms. There's no secret about that. And there's hundreds of different gambling simulators to choose from. And I call them gambling simulators because there's a lot of things that you can spend money in these games that isn't exactly guaranteed. In some shooters, there's in-game loot boxes similar to Advanced Warfare, if anybody remembers that game, that cost real-world money as they can only be bought exclusively through Robux. There's also things such as in-game premium upgrades or level skips. In some games, I've even seen there's essentially things that give you wall hacks or aimbot of some sorts. In other games, there's roulettes. In other games, there's loot boxes that give you pets or other abilities of different sorts. It really just depends on the experience that you choose. But for the most part, most mainstream experiences have some sort of monetization similar to this. It's a little bit of gambling, if you'd like to say. There's a lot of things in Roblox that are kind of exploitative of children, and it does it in some of the worst ways imaginable. And somebody who does a really good job at covering the extensive nature of taking advantage of kids' urge for FOMO, which is the fear of missing out for those of you who don't know, somebody who does a really good job at documenting this type of phenomena in Roblox extensively is none other than Ruben Sim. Anyways, there's something that I want to tangentially focus on that involves the topic of today, and this is probably going to be the most relevant of all issue, which is character customization items, which are either extremely hilarious or the most cringe shit you have ever witnessed. And this is where we start connecting the main topic of this video for today. As most of us commentary slop YouTubers typically do before getting an idea for a video, we all begin scrolling through Twitter, witnessing some of the most foul shit imaginable, and then think to ourselves, yeah, this is something to talk about. Well, recently, I was scrolling through Twitter and I noticed something extremely concerning. But it's not just Twitter where I was seeing this. I've also seen memes on Instagram and TikTok with people playing up jokes about these types of situations going on Roblox. The main issue I want to tackle at the moment is that there's some very prevalent experiences and character customization options that are specifically oriented towards the mature side of things, and by mature, I mean 17 plus, in air quotes, which is what some of these disgusting devs will title their projects to avoid conflicting with ESRB laws. For those of you who don't know, Roblox has an ESRB rating of T for teen, which means everything Roblox has must not leave the bounds of appropriate material for people aged between 13 and 17. However, many of us could and should argue that there are are things on Roblox that are either extremely borderline on what's safe for child interaction or extremely inappropriate for child interaction. Contrary to popular belief, Roblox is not exclusively for kids. It's just simply perceived that way. And for many adults, it's not considered to be a risky game for their children to play, as not many are too aware of Roblox's darker side. And that's what we're focusing on. In Roblox, there are some experiences and character customization options which make an individual's avatar incredibly close to mature-looking models, if not outright being sexual depictions of someone, or in these cases, some things. There are clothing options that are undeniably inappropriate for anyone who would reasonably be a teenager to be using or viewing. It all gets worse when you realize that there are very real, equally, if not more, inappropriate settings in Roblox where these customization options are utilized. Games such as where you see all sorts of unnecessary skimpy avatars in very maturely charged environments. And it does not take a genius to understand what the objective for these experiences are for a lot of people. A lot of young individuals that are more than likely not in the proper age range to even be in an environment like this or to be thinking like this end up coming to these servers out of pure curiosity and sometimes end up being harassed by other individuals in these games. It also should not come as a surprise that there's plenty of predators that frequent these experiences and just as frequently get outed for being creeps within the community for trying to talk to irresponsible and impressionable young kids. The most important part about all of this is that these types of issues are not things that should just be investigated. They already are frequently being looked into by people such as Ruben Sim and other members of the community to raise awareness. Roblox already is facing multiple scandals and even a class action lawsuit for exposing children to sexually charged environments. The effort to prevent this disgusting phenomena in Roblox is already a very, very strong effort by a lot of people. And before someone takes what I'm saying the wrong way, I'm not saying that it is not important to investigate these problems. I'm saying that people are already doing it because it is extremely important. What I'm saying is that there is a looming issue at hand that is also becoming incredibly important. And that's the frequency of how often these things just keep reappearing and happening. It's become incredibly common, and clearly there's an abundance of participants for these environments. What I want to say with this video is that parents should have significantly more awareness nowadays when it comes to products and internet material that is seemingly safe for younger audience. And not just parents, but anybody else who can take this message and make others aware of this issue. As Elsa Gate has taught in the past, and how skibbity TikTok brain rot is teaching many now, the internet is not a safe or healthy place for anyone who isn't developed yet, especially children. There should be far more effort in parents to help mitigate their children's exposure to all of this filth. While it is incredibly hard to monitor a child or even teenagers 100% of the time, there needs to be far more effort in controlling and limiting what's available to them online. There should also be significantly more research in the type of content, media, and other products that you allow your children to consume. There's all sorts of media out there that parents typically buy for their kids without a second thought because it seemingly looks innocent at a surface level, but getting deep into it, there's a lot more than what it seems. And to me personally, it's getting far too common how often these issues are typically treated as something to laugh about online, as a dark joke, and that's what really has perturbed me. Anyways, that's what I wanted to talk about today. Roblox is weird, and there are plenty of weird people on it. But in general, a lot of media today is extremely weird. But yeah, that's pretty much all I got. Hope you enjoyed this video. Share it with your mom, your dad, your uncle, your grandpa, everyone, right? Let's make more people aware of these issues. And again, that's all I really got. Later.